Welcome back to Cocktails and Classics. I'm Dylan. Joining me as always are Ben, Zach, and Cam.
Yep.
Hi.
And this week we're continuing our April Fool's month with Ben's movie of choice.
Oh, are you supposed to pass that off to me? It's Superbabies, Baby Geniuses 2.
Ben and I both had chosen the same movie, but I let Ben have this one, and I feel like I should have kept it if I was going for the dub this month.
If you wanted the April Fool's dub, yeah, this would have been the time to do it.
To kick things off and get everybody in the right mood, I'm going to give it back to Ben to explain the cocktail for this week.
So, to find a baby-themed cocktail is hard because a lot of the times when you try to look them up, they're all mocktails, so they're all non-alcoholic. So what I did is took one of those and added alcohol, like a problem drinker would. So there was a cocktail called a Bellini, to play on Bellini, but with belly because, that's where the
Babies.
baby... Yeah, exactly. That adds up. And the mocktail recipe was... I believe it was for like a punch bowl, so it was obviously more, but it was like 1 part apple juice, 1 part peach juice, and then top with club soda, and then add simple syrup to taste. So what I did was 1 part apple juice, 1 part peach whiskey, top with club soda. I didn't add any simple syrup. I don't think it needed any more sugar. I think it was more than enough as it was. They're good. They're sweet. They feel very summery, which is weird when it's, gray and rainy outside right now in April, but here we are. But I would recommend it. They're good. Very tasty.
It sounds delicious.
It's fruity. You can probably have like 1 or 2. If you're like me and you drink alcoholic drinks that are too sugary and your stomach gets upset, then, leave it at the 1 or 2. Too much sugar, but they are very tasty.
Check the show notes below if you want to make a Bellini. That sounds awful to say. Hit up the Drizzly and Casker links and have it delivered directly to your door. You can check out Super Baby Geniuses, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses too. Nowhere. So good luck, and it's probably for the better. The less the world knows that this movie exists, the better.
Damn, he's right.
And we are going to spoil it, though it came out, 18 years ago now.
Also, is there really much to spoil?
Yeah. There's the whole plot line that we saw
there's
like
a
10 minutes
twist at
into the
the
movie.
end.
Oh, yeah, the one that any
you don't know
competent
what's going on.
adult could figure out pretty quick.
Well, they're all babies, so understandable
Adult.
they didn't.
Shit,
They're
shit.
adult
You
babies.
right.
No, only one, there's only one adult baby in this movie. Everyone else is a normal baby. Well, not normal baby, a baby genius, but they are not
A super
60-year-olds.
baby.
Whoa. Spoilers.
Superbabies, Baby Geniuses 2 is a 2004 family sci-fi comedy film directed by Bob Clark, who also directed Porky's and A Christmas Story. Gave us this masterpiece written by Robert Grasmere, Francesca Matos, and Stephen Paul. Stars Jon Voight, Scott Baio, Vanessa Angel, Skylar Shea, who played Kylie, and I learned is Jon Voight's goddaughter. So
That checks out.
That's probably why she was casted.
Yeah, that adds up.
And then the other guy we kind of thought we knew was Peter Wingfield, who played the henchman guy.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he's a very big character actor. Like one of those guys that's like in a lot of, like, you wouldn't recognize him for any particular thing, but he's in a bunch of stuff. Or he just has one of those faces.
I think it's one of those faces, because I looked it up and I didn't know much he was in. The kid who plays Zach was in quite a few things. Justin Chatwin.
Never heard of him. What all was he? Was
He was
he?
in like War of the Worlds, the 2005 one. He was in Weeds
Mm.
for a long time. He was in the Chips remake, Shameless, Super Baby Geniuses. Fuck me. It's so like
The title's confusing.
Super
because-
Babies, Baby Geniuses 2.
Yeah.
There's too many babies in the title.
Yeah, so here's the weird thing, right? Is I feel like I would expect Super Babies to come after Baby Geniuses 2 because it's supposed to
Yes.
be a sequel, and then you usually have the subtitle of the sequel after. But this is Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. It seems like it should be Baby Geniuses 2, Super Baby.
It's the story of a group of smart talking toddlers find themselves at the center of a media mogul's experiment to crack the code to baby talk. The toddlers must race against time for the sake of babies everywhere. Currently sits at a 2.1 out of 10 on IMDb. It is on the IMDb's bottom 250.
Pretty far down there. It's like number... so I'm looking at the IMDb bottom 100, and it's number 4 on this list. So.
Wow.
It's very far down there. It barely edges out The Hottie and the Naughty, House of the Dead, Son of the Mask, Saving Christmas, and the Epic movie.
I never saw Son of the Mask.
It's Jamie Kennedy's finest outing.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. How dare you shade Malibu's Most Wanted like that?
I was just kidding. Yeah, and you know the three movies that it edges out, one of them we won the contest last year, which is Birdemic Shock and Terror, is technically worse than this movie on IMDb.
Man.
I don't
So here's the thing.
You don't know? Come on.
So here's
that movie
the
was
thing.
definitely worse.
Here's the thing. Birdemic, watching it, you feel is just a terrible low budget movie.
Yeah.
This movie seems like it has a legitimate budget, and it's still fucking
it had a
awful.
$20 million budget. So
That makes it worse.
oh, I mean, it's definitely kind of trade-offs, because, I mean, the Birdemic is just so bad. There's no charming elements to Birdemic, but it is, at its essence, a low-budget indie movie that some random people made, and is obviously, like, dog shit, you know? Like, that's clear.
This movie feels like the writers had some sort of blackmail on someone at a studio and was like, "You're gonna make this movie," and they're like, "I guess we have to."
Yeah, because I feel like with these types of movies, they could be done in kind of a clever way where it's like, maybe it's not so bad, but this one is bad.
When you start CGIing like the mouth moving onto a baby
Yeah.
a few minutes in,
I
I've
couldn't
lost
believe
all
that.
hope.
So I'm on this awful movies wiki, and it has 14 reasons why this movie is so bad. So I'm just gonna list some of them off, and we can kind of discuss from here. So number 1, I mean, this is kind of general, is it tries to cash in on the success of other superior superhero films at the time, but ends up being bland and uninspired. Sure. This one is, once again, the babies act more like adults than actual babies, which is still more disturbing than funny. It's so weird to see them act like, even the children, like even the babies that weren't 60 years old. Well, so first off, there's that, right? Is like,
There's
one of the babies
a
is
grown
like
adult
60.
trapped at the age of like.
But I wouldn't
4.
even call him a baby. Like that
Yeah.
that child looks
He's
to
a big
be
kid to a toddler.
Yeah, he's like a big toddler, right? Like, he's a big toddler, it seems like.
I feel like they just found a kid who looked like he was still young, but that kid's clearly like almost a teenager or something.
This also notes horrible acting from both the babies and adults. I don't know how you can really fault the babies for bad acting, but I mean, they're babies, right? Like, they're small
Yeah.
children.
I feel like the whole premise of trying to get babies to act, but not act just as being a baby, is
Yeah.
not super plausible.
It's an insane ask, especially when you have them doing dialogue. Like, you have these babies doing dialogue, and then, for one of the babies, he was so bad at the lip syncing stuff, because he's a baby, you know, that they had to, like, CGI a mouth onto him. It's horrible.
That's so bad.
It looked so bad.
They set themselves up for failure, I feel like, with that plot that it's like, all right, here's babies, they gotta be super smart, and then they're supposed to carry the entire movie
Yeah.
as being these smart talking babies where like they have semi like that's the first thing when you're introduced to them. They have like this like super intelligent conversation where they're talking about, I don't even remember.
You're talking about like World War One history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this movie would have been a lot better as a cartoon. Because
Yeah, like Boss Baby.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Boss Baby is a meme too, but like it's like, oh, you have this baby who talks. It's not nearly as weird or uncanny in a cartoon
I feel like
or an animated
Boss
movie.
Baby's a meme to us because we're adults trying to comprehend it, but as a child, it's a kids movie, so like checks out. Yeah. This as a kids movie would be better if it were a cartoon.
And again, like it would not be something even so adults enjoy, which would be fine, right? Like a lot of kids stuff does not have anything for adults, which is totally okay.
They definitely
But
try though with some of the jokes.
Yeah,
they
tried.
do.
Like
the Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Tyson, don't bite my ear off. Okay. What was the other one? Oh, who's your
Roasted.
designer? Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
This movie had to have been a cash grab, right?
Oh, for
Get
sure.
something out there real fast. Put
Well-
kids in it. Hope kids go see it.
So they tried to play off of the original Baby Geniuses, which is an interesting move considering that the original one was also panned
Didn't it also come out
universally.
like
90s.
Yeah, wasn't it like
1999?
Yeah.
was it 99? I thought it was 97. I was like it was 7 years before.
So another thing is that it has no connection to the first movie. So despite it being a sequel, there's only a couple characters that are mentioned in the film, and that's it. In fact, there's actually in the advertising for the movie, there's a character that appears on the poster, but he's not actually in the film, and he's only mentioned one time, which is so odd.
You're talking about the movie, like this movie?
Yeah, this movie. Yeah, apparently when they were advertising it, there was a baby on the cover that's not straight up not in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the one on IMDb, like the general one they have, and like Rosalita, was that her name?
Yeah. Oh, she's not even
Isn't-
on here.
She's not even on the poster.
She's not even on the poster. Yeah, that's a good point. And also, this article mentions, as I noted in the film, that Bouncing Boy's uniform looks way too similar to that of the ball from the Pixar short Luxo Jr. I was like, that's the Toy Story ball. What the hell? Yeah. Oh, and Whoopi Goldberg was just in the movie for like 5 seconds, and some random boy band from Orlando. That's why they're called O-Town, by the way.
No,
it's
Well,
from
not just some
Orlando.
random band. They were the winners
random to
of the
me.
first season of Making the Band, which was the MTV show. Wasn't Diddy involved in that?
Yes,
I don't
That's
know.
what I thought.
I'm pretty sure.
I never saw the show.
It was about making a boy band,
Yeah.
like creating. I mean, you'd think if you had those guys in there, you would actually like have had a song. There was never like they did that one thing where they were like, Kahuna, we're like making a theme song for you, and they like harmonized basically for like
Yeah, that was the
One
whole
second,
point of their
but-
cameo.
like they never actually like played an O-Town song that they made for Kahuna, which I feel like is the whole reason you would have that cameo.
I mean, they had that cameo to have people go see it, probably. Like, oh my god, Whoopi's in it? Oh my god, O-Town's in it?
I'm like, oh my god, who?
And Whoopi and Whoopi's 30 seconds of screen time was the best acting in the entire movie.
Oh, I mean, that's true. All of the actors in this movie, even Jon Voight was terrible, awful.
Yeah.
Jon Voight was maybe one of the worst actors in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Because I think part of it is that
His
I know
role
he
was
could
so
do
stupid.
so much better.
Yeah, his
Well, yeah,
role was
it's-
also just so fucking stupid. And he can definitely do way better, but in this, it's so bad. It's like he's constantly like berating children in the movie, like, and nobody bats an eye. No one's like, "Hey, why are you yelling at that 2-year-old?"
Yeah, I feel like that was half of his lines were just him yelling at some baby.
And none of the guards at any point in time questioned this. They're like, "Why are you messing? Why is this baby your mortal enemy, dude? This is
Hey,
weird."
man, I'm just here to get my paycheck and to go home.
I mean,
But
that's
also
fair.
the fact that all of the grown henchmen were so incompetent that none of them could do anything against a fucking child. Like, bro, come on. Like,
Well,
these dudes were just so... Their fighting was so... The fight scenes were so bad. Like, just don't even put them in. Just don't do it. They look terrible.
No, it's bad. And even in the first one where you're introduced to, like, Kahuna, where he's, like, drinking this potion, right? Which basically turns him into a weird version of the Hulk. And all the guards are just, like, standing around him with guns, just looking at him the whole time. They could have, like, apprehended him, or, I mean, not saying you should shoot a baby, of course, but, like,
I am.
they're guards. If you think this is a real threat, you're like, oh, they could have, like, stopped him.
First ladies.
All I'm saying is, if you had a time machine, would you go back and kill baby Hitler? That's all I'm saying.
the real point of this whole podcast episode.
Yeah, and it is interesting too, because I feel like this also came at the tail end of that time period where, like, Germans were, like, the bad guys all the time in every single movie. It was, like, very late.
Yeah, it was kind of 2005, like...
That's pretty late.
Pretty odd for Germans, because realistically, let's be honest, America went pretty heavy into the war on terror aspect of every movie's bad guy has to be someone from the Middle East.
Yeah, Hollywood went very heavy into racism after that.
Well, it wasn't after that. It's just,
okay, I'm just saying, like,
it was always just Hollywood either.
It's just that
they changed their focus.
They became the easy bad guy to write, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Are we gonna, like, circle back around to Russians?
I feel like we have to, right?
I feel like
day now, yeah.
Yeah. It's got to happen at some point.
A24 is going to come out with, like, a film about the Ukraine war next year, and then it's just going to be full-blown evil Eastern Europeans again.
It's really sad. I mean, one, because you never want to hear about anyone having to deal with anything like what Bruce Willis is having to deal with. But also the fact that, like, he could have made another Die Hard where the Russians were the bad guys, and everyone would have been like, this is great. Bruce Willis is awesome.
Did you see they gave his Razzie back? Or, like, they took it back?
Well, not
like,
just that, but they had, like, a whole
really?
award category about Bruce Willis. And then once they found out why
he was the only actor nominated for Worst Picture. Or, like, Worst Actor.
Wait, what?
And then,
really?
like, yeah, he was the only person nominated because he's just done a bunch of dog shit films.
He did a bunch of, like, terrible movies. And they were like, we're doing an
Yeah.
entire Bruce Willis category where we're going to give an award to Bruce Willis for one of his terrible roles, and we're just going to pick one of the worst ones. And then it came out why he was doing so many movies, and they're like,
he was, like, basically being
we're not
forced
doing
to do
this.
it, right?
No, he was doing it to make as much money as possible.
I know he has a
aphasia?
disease. Aphasia, yeah.
Yeah, which is basically like early dementia. And it's a lot, like, you lose language really fast. So basically he was making as many movies as possible to have money to take care of his family before he died.
I mean, at least they found that out afterwards and were like, we fucked up, guys. We're sorry. I'm sorry. Did you guys know that this movie actually lost the Raspberry for Worst Picture this year?
2.
Take a guess.
2005.
Yeah. Or is that right? Release date was 2004, so it would have been the 2005 Razzies, yeah.
Oh.
So any movie that came out in 04.
Oh, I know.
Okay. I imagine Ben might know.
I knew as soon as it came up what year, I was like, I think I know exactly what this is.
Is it a Batman movie?
No, but
No,
you're on
it's
the right
not.
track.
Is it Catwoman?
It
It
is,
is,
yes. This movie lost the Razzie to Catwoman that year when it came out.
Which I almost thought about making us watch, but I decided against it.
I had to describe recently the basketball scene to people who have never seen it, and I was like,
It was posted
I
on
know this
Reddit
sounds
recently.
really stupid. Yeah, I know. I was like, I know this sounds really stupid. You just have to go watch it. It's the dumbest scene in a movie I think I've ever seen in my life.
Actually, I feel like we talked about it.
Yeah,
We
I
did.
posted it to
Yeah.
the chat
Sent the
like a couple
basketball.
weeks ago. And there's like I would be interested to count. I mean, not really, but
The
I'd be
amount of
interested to know, I
cuts?
guess, how many cuts are in that one scene.
Jesus, so bad.
I mean, it's got to be like 30, right? Like at least. It's just and that's like a 2-minute scene.
There's been movies that we've watched where, and I will say, I feel like this movie was at least funny to watch because you could make fun of so many aspects of it.
Yeah.
But I in the brief time between watching it and starting the recording, I was talking to my wife and I was like, I never again. She's like, is it worse than Shrek Retold? And I said, the thing about Shrek
It's a hard
Retold
question,
is that
yeah.
I feel like the people who were making it knew it was going to be a meme and knew it was going to be bad. And these people genuinely tried. And it was still utterly terrible.
Yeah.
It's still
Jon Voight's was-
I mean,
Uh,
Jon Voight definitely phoned
I don't know
it
if that was
in.
a
Oh,
try.
I
I mean, yeah, of
This-
course.
Like I said, I think this movie was just Jon Voight's beach house.
Yeah.
And the poor girl who played Katie or Kaylee, Kylie,
His assistant.
whatever. No, the babysitter.
Okay.
This was probably the one time that she was kind of upset that she was Jon Voight's goddaughter.
Yeah, I mean, she got an acting credit and probably got paid a little bit.
She
so.
she probably would like brag to all of her friends that she knew Jon Voight and like she knew Jon Voight, and then she was telling a bunch of people she's gonna be in this movie. She's gonna be in this Hollywood movie, and then it came out and she's like, "No, I'm not in it. They cut me out."
Yeah, this
She was
movie
also
actually...
in the Bratz movie,
Oh, no.
and she was in Grey's Anatomy for 14 years.
Wow, really? Crazy.
Wow.
Was she in Grey's Anatomy for 14 years, or has the show just been running for 14 years and she was in like 2 episodes?
I think the show's been going for like 18 or 20 years.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh my God, they made so many more Baby Genius shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that the
Straight
sequel
to
is called
DVD.
Baby Geniuses and the Mystery of the Crown Jewels.
Yes, there's also Treasures of Egypt, which is another video. There's Baby Geniuses television series, which came out in 2013. There's Baby Geniuses in the Space Baby, which came out in 2015.
This movie has a rare 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's very rare you see a movie with 0 on Rotten Tomatoes, Like, usually someone's like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't so bad. I thought it was all right. And that gets a plus, And
Or a
it's
meme.
yeah, this is a 0. Straight up 0.
So I will say that I felt this movie had no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Agreed.
Never was there a moment where they did a joke and I actually laughed or chortled or sharp XL'd. Like, none of the jokes hit. None of the humor was funny. The caricature baby where the black baby is like talking like, yo, get a brother or something. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, it's
this
so-
isn't
yeah.
funny. I get you're attempting a joke, but like,
Yeah.
ugh.
The one part that I kind of was like, all right, that's kind of funny, was when they're like searching Kahuna and they pull out like, I don't know,
Tire
30
iron?
things out of his pockets.
They pull a tire
a
iron
tire
out?
iron, a banana, random shit. I like that was kind of funny, but I agree. Like there were no great redeeming qualities to this movie at all. Like at least with Shrek Retold, I mean, I was like, a lot of these people did try really hard and there was some good animation and like the original story is still solid, But yeah, like there's nothing that I could point to in this movie and be like, okay, yeah, you got me there. That was funny. That was legitimately funny. Not like, oh my God, this is so stupid. It's funny again,
Like I wish it had that. I know you guys are like, Shrek Retold was bad, but like at least there were moments where we laughed.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it actually made us chuckle at points. This I was just laughing at the shittiness of it, of like, wow, they really tried and tried, and this is what $20 million got us.
Yeah,
$20
it's like what Ben
million.
said earlier is like, in Shrek Retold, they knew they were making a meme product, right? Like they knew it wasn't going to be like good. It was an interesting experiment and it was a big meme, but they knew it wasn't going to be good. This, they did try to make it entertaining for kids and also adults. I feel like they needed to pick a lane, but they didn't do either very well at all, I feel like. And
They didn't spend $20 million on Shrek Retold.
No. Also, this movie only
Did they
box
spend any?
officed $10 million, so it actually lost money at the box office.
Wow.
It also apparently was never digitally available anywhere. Like they never put it up for streaming or anything.
And then their thought was, let's make more Baby Geniuses movies. But at least
I don't know.
No,
Maybe
we got to
they
get
were
back to our roots.
At least we'll direct to DVD those.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe part of that is these movies sucked, but we sold a lot of DVDs, maybe. So let's just do that.
Let's just cut the budget, put them straight to DVD, and someone will buy it.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
times
an interesting concept
because that's an interesting overseas. A lot of the times for distribution, what they do is a distributor will package one or two good movies with a bunch of shit tier movies that they also have to buy. So oh, you want what other movies came out in 2005? Oh, you want Batman Begins? We have a package that'll give you Batman Begins and I don't know what other good movie came out in 2005, but you also have to buy Brokeback Mountain, but you also have to buy Super Baby Geniuses 2. You have to buy Catwoman, and you have to buy Epic Movie. And, that's how they sell all of those movies. So maybe direct to DVD, they were like, yeah, you know what? It's not going to do well, but when we sell them in a bundle, they have to buy it.
Yeah, it's like when you buy variety packs, and you're like, man, I wish there was just more of this other good flavor. But it's always, they have so many garbage flavors because that's the only they need fillers. They're like,
Yep.
oh yeah.
I mean, if I bought a variety pack and one of the flavors was Superbabies, Baby Geniuses, or whatever,
I would stop buying the variety pack.
I would maybe not get that one again.
Yeah.
I'd find a new variety pack.
But what if it was 3 copies of The Room and Baby Geniuses 2?
What if in some alternate reality, Tommy Wiseau made 3 movies, a whole trilogy of The Room, but in order to buy it, you also had to get Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2.
Maybe
You'd
in that
fucking
case
do
where
it.
it was 3 separate movies. If it was only 3 copies of The Room and Super Babies, I don't know.
No.
But if it was I got 3 other movies.
It's 3 other
and that
movies
one,
in addition to Baby Geniuses 2.
Is it 3 separate DVD cases? So I can just throw out the other one? Or is it all in the same disc and every time
the other thing with these types of variety packs too is you can't just buy the flavor you want. You have to buy it. If you want that flavor, you have to buy it.
Yeah, they don't sell it individually
they
packaged.
don't individually package it. Yeah.
Right. So it's you can have, if you want strawberry, great, but you also got to buy grape. You know what I mean?
What you got against grape?
Oh, it's the worst flavor, except for maybe artificial banana, for sure.
I like grape stuff. I think it's
I do
good.
too. Grape high chews are fire.
That's okay.
I
I'm gonna
think grape
catch
is the
I'm gonna
worst
catch a lot
flavor.
of flack. I like artificial banana flavor. I know it doesn't
Oh.
taste like real.
No.
I know it doesn't taste like real banana, but I love it.
Well, I heard something recently that apparently artificial banana is actually modeled off of the previous version of bananas that people used to eat before they went extinct. Because all bananas are genetically identical, and they used to make a certain type of species of banana, but there was a virus that basically took all the banana crops in the world eventually. But now we eat a different type of banana that some dude was just growing in his greenhouse.
I've also heard that before. That artificial banana is supposedly what the true banana flavor is or something.
Well, I don't know about true, but yeah, it is it is what the original banana people were eating before. more or
The
less
banana
tasted
people.
The
like.
banana people, those bananas in their pajamas.
Okay, the bananas people were eating,
Banana people. Banana
which apparently were a
people.
lot sweeter than the ones we have now. But I mean, I like bananas now.
I like the
don't know.
Laffy Taffy bananas.
Well, that's what
I
that's
don't.
what Ben
I
is
avoid
saying.
them
I don't.
like
the
I
plague.
don't think they're good either.
Yes, Zach. Yes.
All right. Okay. So I mean, what? All right. What flavor would this be then? If you're buying
Poop.
this in a variety pack, what flavor?
Poop
Okay.
flavor.
A realistic flavor. A realistic flavor.
Have you seen what Gen Z's into? Poop flavor might be an actual flavor.
God.
Like cough syrup grape. Like
Well, hang on.
Well, hold on. I mean, that's just.
Some
Do you like
people
cough
like
syrup
cough
grape?
syrup.
Well, that's just grape.
no. There's good grape, and then there's like the cough syrup grape.
How about Bang Energy flavored?
There's people who like
Which
that
one?
too.
There are many energy. I actually liked the one Bang Energy I had before.
It's
I don't remember what it
they are
was.
not a sponsor. Let's
not a sponsor, but they could be.
no.
I
I don't know. What's a cucumber? I hate cucumbers.
Is that
So
a
like,
I would not
Oh,
want
like
cucumber
cucumber
flavored
melon?
candy.
no.
Alright, I
Like
could do
I
cucumber
hate
melon,
cucumber. Like if I taste cucumber in something, it makes me want to throw up.
What
don't
about?
Oh, interesting.
It
But
tastes
do you
too
like
fresh.
them once they're pickled?
Pickled, yes. I
Yeah,
like
I
Do
pickles.
you like pickles?
You just
I like pickles,
vinegar
but
and
like
salt.
actual
Yeah.
cucumbers, I
There's
will not
definitely a
eat
different
something. I
taste,
will
though.
pick
Oh,
it up.
100%.
Taste way different than
100.
pickles.
Yeah,
I mean, not even
cucumbers
comparable.
Yeah, they're not really the same.
Pickles are good, and cucumbers are not that good.
Not good at all. Some
sure.
would say.
Yeah.
Some would say.
I think the closest we're getting is ass flavor.
I mean, really, it's an acquired taste. Some people like that. You know?
Well, to me, that ass flavor is grape, and that would be the flavor that would
Did you
give
say
me pause
grape
about
or great?
grape. Grape.
It's
put the
great. I love
Extra
it.
in the mic.
Had to get through the pop filter.
Yeah. Grape. So yeah. Anyway, to me, Baby Geniuses 2 is basically like the grape flavor. I'm gonna have to accentuate the p every time now.
What is the Starburst flavor that everyone hates? Isn't it yellow?
Yellow.
No, I love
hey,
yellow.
no. I fucking love yellow, dude.
There's not a
I
Starburst
fuck with
flavor I
yellow.
don't like.
Yeah, in the original, I agree. I don't think there's a single. I think like if I had gun to my head, which is the worst, I would say orange for me personally. But
Oh,
my favorite's
fuck.
yellow. I love
Alright,
yellow.
I got
it's my
one.
favorite Starburst.
Green jelly bean flavor.
Which, like, what type?
Yeah, which type?
Like the one that tastes like Windex.
Wait, I mean, Jelly Belly has
Cilantro?
lots of greens.
They're all green to me, man.
Oh no. Sounds like we're not gonna find out because this kid doesn't know colors.
Oh no, that's a good point, actually.
When he said they're all green to me, I was like, is no one going to talk about the fact that Zach is colorblind?
Especially this type of color blindness.
No, there's
Yeah,
a
the green
jelly
one
bean
that
flavor
tastes like cinnamon.
Windex.
It's so gross.
You know the green one that tastes like grape? I hate that one.
There's a green one that tastes like ass.
Bro, that's just
That's
purple. Okay, I'm looking into it because I realize now that I didn't think to mention this. The Scott Baio's character, Stan Bobbins, keeps talking about his because it's like his brother's, like, I don't know, not nursery but like daycare, and then they just kind of never talk
Like
about
babies.
why he's not in the picture
Right.
at all.
Yeah, and it's like, is it the same? Is it his daughter that's the person there?
It's
then the
it's
girl.
his niece.
Well, no, I get
No,
that.
Oh, but if
like,
it's
I'm
the
saying-
that guy's daughter, they never
Yeah.
explain it. They don't say.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't. They never explain what the significance is there. And then there's even a line where he's like, "Oh, half brother, blah blah blah," and he's like, "I'm his full brother," and Jon Voight's like, "I don't care."
Wait,
But
guys,
there's like no significance behind that.
I know we talked. We kind of glossed over it, But Jon Voight comes back in Baby Geniuses 3.
And the TV
What?
show.
And they capitalize
Oh my
and they
God.
capitalize on the CSI craze by calling it BSI.
Oh my god.
So, question
bad.
here. Like, I don't know. So, everyone shits on Nick Cage because he literally just takes any role. But, like,
Yeah.
Jon Voight's been in 100 movies since the 60s. So, he's done, like, at least, like, 1.5
I mean, yeah, it's like 2 movies. That's like almost. Yeah, it's like 1.5 movies every year.
Is that Jon Voight's remembered for the movies he did way before he sold out?
Yeah,
Like
Midnight
when
Cowboy, Deliverance.
Yeah, he's remembered for movies he made in like the 60s and 70s, and then, once it got to like the late 90s, I feel like Nick Cage's was just so fast that he went from like top box office draw to
He went from an Oscar winner to...
Yeah, and it was just a fast turnaround, whereas Jon Voight was like, yeah, he's old. He's just making movies for money now. Like, all right. But I feel like there's a lot of people that do that we just kind of gloss over.
That was the other thing, is this movie was just so predictable in a lot of ways. Like, it just had no creative flair at all.
No.
Like, you could see everything coming from a mile away.
Oh, here's this giant backstory about Kahuna and his brother. I wonder who Jon Voight is.
Oh, his brother speaks in a heavy German accent. Weird. Wonder who else we know with a heavy German accent.
Only other character in the movie with a heavy German accent.
Oh, he's about to press the button. Oh, I bet he turns into a baby. The thing he hates. Oh, yep, he turned into a baby. Man. Oh, here comes this stereotypical early 2000s high school kid, the same age as the babysitter. I bet they're going to do something together. Yup. All right.
It was textbook in that case. And then when it tried to do the little, like, Disney or like child film where it sprinkles in a little adult humor or like adult oriented stuff, it wasn't good. It wasn't fun.
It was not funny.
It missed
Yeah.
every time.
And part of that too is it was just so not subtle at all. Like, a lot of the times when I think it's kind of funny is when it's like a little subtle or clever, And like, I think a good example of that is when both kids and adults laugh at the same joke for 2 different reasons.
Yes.
And there's some things like SpongeBob I thought did that really well. And there's some other shows and kids movies that do that really well, but this did not. It was literally like, here's a joke for adults, and that's it. And it's also really obvious. And it's like, okay.
Calm down. Don't bite my ear, Miss Tyson.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like, oh, come on. Your target audience does not know who that is, and it's also not funny if they don't know who that is.
It's also like the lowest hanging fruit
Yeah.
of the humor category. It's like, all right, let's meme on Mike Tyson with something that happened in the 90s.
Right. Also, there were so many like one-liners and quips that were just like so bad.
Oh,
like who is sitting here writing these things?
Like the lowest of the, like, what was the one when they're getting off the boat or whatever? It was like,
I don't know, but there was one that was like, "Are you a gambling man or something?"
Oh yeah.
He's
and
like,
then he like
"Heads
flipped
I
the
win,
dude and he's like,
tails you
heads,
lose."
tails, heads, tails.
Yeah. God damn.
If it was like a Schwarzenegger like cheesy action one liner, it almost would have been better.
Oh, it would have been 100% better. I feel like he's like self-aware.
Definitely at this
like
point.
these are bad. He'll say something and because it's like, oh, that was cheesy as hell. I mean, it was kind of like, funny or cool or whatever, but it was cheesy as hell. But this movie's not self-aware of how bad it is,
I think we got one good life lesson, which is you can't stop story time, but you can decide to read a good story or a bad story.
In what world do the kids decide that? Like, can they change that, Like, a teacher comes out, is like, all right, it's story time, here's the story. And all the babies are like, no!
I wonder if that was their self-aware moment where they were like, you always have to watch a movie. It could either be a good movie or a bad movie.
But in this instance, they chose the bad movie.
I just wish they would have taught us that lesson an hour earlier, so I didn't have to sit through that fucking movie to learn it.
Yeah.
You're like, you
To
know
be
what?
fair, you
You're
picked
right.
this one.
I guess I could turn this off at any point in time.
Maybe I
Too
should
bad
go
they're only
outside
telling
and
me
play.
about this. Yeah, they're only telling us about this at the very end when we are already through it.
Also, the self-righteous little like, hey, I know you're watching a movie, but this caused all the kids to go outside and play, and they're no longer watching television anymore. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that I did find that message odd coming from a movie. It was kind of like, all right, that's a weird take to have. You want kids to watch this, right? Like, your goal is to have kids watch this movie and make money, right? It doesn't feel like that's the goal at many points in the movie, but especially at the end.
It feels like their goal is for no one to watch this movie most of the movie.
Well, I mean, that's their goal now. I mean, they don't make it available anywhere to watch it.
What was the best part of the movie for you guys?
The end.
The end.
For me, it was the end, but it was when the bad guy got to his evil contraption, gave the whole speech about how he finally is about to do his bad thing, and then a pause, and then the kids ran up the stairs and then gave the story time monologue.
Foiled his entire plan by just going upstairs.
Yeah.
It's like, how
It
how
was
did I not
hilarious
see this
that they
coming?
basically foiled his entire plot by the pincer move. Three of them go up the stairs, like three of them go up the elevator, and that's just enough to solve the day.
Which, there was no one at the elevator. They didn't even need to go to the stairs. The three of them that took the elevator up just went right up to the control.
Also,
He didn't
that
even
also
go that way.
So
Like, he didn't even pay attention to the elevator. He went straight to the
there's-
stairs to stop him.
this also has like two implications. First, in context of the movie, that implies that he has the capability in his lab to do this like evil thing, right? Like,
Right.
He could brainwash the entire
Kahuna-
population whenever he wanted
Kahuna
to.
could have brainwashed the entire population this whole time from his own lab and just didn't. And second, this implies the existence of United States military children soldiers, right? Like they were clearly, like he clearly was working for, like at least it seemed like he was working for like the government or something at some point. And I don't know. It's strange. It is a strange thing.
Nobody had a favorite part of the movie.
Dude, no, it sucked. The entire thing sucked. My favorite part was the end. It was bad.
I was
1 out
literally
of
counting
10.
down the minutes. We took a break, and there was 40 minutes left.
I
And
did love the part where the babies somehow think they're going to drive the minivan.
Oh yeah, that was funny. And
When
it
they
was
get
like,
caught?
yeah, you're obviously not driving this.
And it was like, okay, what the fuck is your plan here?
They're like, yeah, we'll take the keys and just drive it. And then they get in the van and they try to start it. It's like,
Yeah.
you're not driving this. But then they somehow the babysitter or niece convinces them to go along with this clearly insane person plot. It's like, yes, the babies have their own language and they talk to each other, and you have to trust me. We have to go to the Hollywood sign, to this thing. Clearly a crazy person, but they went along with it for some reason, so.
None of us had seen this film before. Probably a good thing. But you're going to get 4 fresh reviews from the Goob Squad. Cameron, lead us off. Let us know what you thought of Superbabies, Baby Geniuses
I don't think I have anything that I can say that we didn't already say. It was an awful movie. It was really bad. Acting was awful. 1 out of 10.
Solid 1 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, I do think there's room to go lower, if I'm being honest. Like, it was really bad, but I think there's definitely room to go lower.
This might be the worst movie I've ever seen. Like I said, it's one thing for, like, Birdemic, which I know I tore apart, but at least it had, like, a really low budget. This movie had a $20 million budget, and this is what it gave us? Where did that money... What, did you pay Jon Voight $18 million to be in this movie and then spend the other $2 million making it? Like, what the... What? Jesus Christ.
Probably $1.5 million on CGI mouths for babies.
Like, this movie is utter shit. The dialogue The dialogue is absolute trash. All of it. All of it's bad. I don't know that there's a redeeming quality to this movie. And like I said, it would be one thing if it were doing it purposefully or it was low budget, so like the people making it even knew it was going to be bad. But I remember this movie coming out in theaters and like having a big marketing campaign surrounding it. And my God, is it utter dog shit. Don't put the effort into looking for it. Just accept that it doesn't exist and pretend it never did. I'm sorry, if it wasn't made clear, I give this movie a 0 out of 10.
There's no room to go down from there, man. You're going to be really sad when we get to Dylan and I's movies and you can't go down from 0.
That's okay. I'll live.
This was hard to watch, but it wasn't the hardest movie to watch. It was stupid. The plot, I figured out the movie in 10 minutes. I don't like when they put babies in movies. I just don't like it. Just please stop doing it. And if you're going to do it, give them pants, please. I don't know. Was this... I was thinking of movies. I'm like, was this easier to watch than the Star Wars Holiday Special? Maybe.
I don't... That's tough, but I think no. When I'm thinking about this one, I compare it to Birdemic, Shock, and Terror more so than the Holiday Special. But I mean, I think Ben has a valid point that this is a $20 million budget, you know? So.
Yeah, this is like you were given all the tools and the equipment. You got, a B-list actor, and you went out and you produced a hot pile of dog shit.
At least during Birdemic, there was shit to make fun of. The dialogue in this movie is so bad that I can't even mock it.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even enough to bite into to make fun of it. That's just how bad it is.
Yeah, this movie's loaded with cringe, and it's trying to be funny, which adds back into the cringe. I'm torn between a 1 and a 2, and I'm gonna give it a 1.
I'm really hard pressed to give this lower than a 0. It's physically not possible. Like, I want to give it a negative, but I cannot.
Man, numbers don't go that low. We've seen it.
Dog, I would watch Birdemic over this.
Wow.
Again. Like, Birdemic had nothing on this movie in my eyes. I'd watch... So our bottom 5 is Birdemic, Food Fight, Star Wars Holiday Special, this, and Shrek Retold at the moment. I'd watch any of those other ones over this. Probably multiple times before I watch this again. This was awful. 20 minutes in, I was like, when is this going to be over? Because this is not good at all. We've said it before. It's not redeeming. It's not funny. It's shit. And it wasn't even like where we could meme on it, like Ben said. Like, at least we could joke and crack a couple jokes like we started to at the beginning. And then we were kind of like, are we really going to have to do this for the whole movie to, like, make it somewhat enjoyable? Because it was like...
Yeah, it's one thing when there's a spot in a movie that comes up that, like, oh my God, this was so cringy, we can talk about how shitty this was. Like, the first time you see the birds in Birdemic, right? You're like, oh my God, this is fucking terrible. But it's funny. This movie is like, you see the baby's mouth move, and instead of being like, oh my God, this is hilarious, your thought is, oh my God, we have to watch this shit for an hour and a half.
Or the CGI car.
Dude. Like, and the fact that it was like standard definition probably saved it because it wasn't high enough quality for it to look very bad. I'm giving it a 0. And I feel bad because I gave Birdemic and Food Fight 0s. But this one deserves it more. I went too low last year, and now I'm regretting my decision. But it's a big fat 0. Would not recommend it. Do not waste your time. It's not even fun like The Room or Food Fight or any of those movies. And I hope you enjoy this episode. You can check out Superbabies, Baby Geniuses too, on the World Wide Webs, the 7 Seas, if you're so choosing. Check us out next week as we watch
the worst rated movie on Letterboxd right now, which is 2025, The World Enslaved
Yes.
by a Virus. It is a movie that was made obviously recently about a world in which meetings are banned, communism has run amok, and Christianity has been outlawed. It is on Tubi with ads, yeah.
Check the show notes below to get your recipe for the Bellini. Head up the Drizzly and Casca links, get some alcohol delivered directly to your door to make that, and share us with your friends and family. As always, watch responsibly.